We are making chocolate cheesecake, and what better person to show us than Trish from the Cadbury Kitchen. How do you make your chocolate cheesecake?
Well, this is a milk chocolate cheesecake, and we're going to be using the Cadbury baking chocolate range today. I'll get you to make the base for me, and I'll start with melting the chocolate.
Okay, so for the base, we've got some biscuits here that we've just crushed in a blender. Is that right?
Yes, so some plain
like
chocolate biscuits. And you can grind them up in a food processor or a blender. If you don't have one of those, you can always put them into a snap lock bag and smash them up with a rolling pin or between 2 slices of baking paper and do the same thing.
That's what I do. So we need some butter in here, is that correct?
That's right. There's 80 grams of butter melted. What I'm going to do is just to pop the whole of this block, the 200 grams of the milk baking chocolate, which is actually real chocolate, and that means that it contains cocoa butter. That's what makes it real chocolate.
Okay.
And I'm just going to put it into a glass bowl here, which is nice and clean and free from water. If the slightest bit of water comes in contact with the chocolate, it will actually seize and become quite hard. And we don't want to overheat it or burn it, so we actually melt it over simmering water. And the water actually shouldn't come in contact with the bottom of the bowl either.
So Trish, just make sure that I'm doing it right. We're just patting down that biscuit crumb just on the base of a flexi tin here. Where
springform pan.
And then what do we do after that with this?
Okay, so that needs to firm up in the refrigerator for about 10 minutes or so. So usually, whilst you're making your fillings, enough time, I think.
Okay, well, I'll pop that in the fridge for you.
Excellent, thanks. This chocolate's melting along very nicely, so just keep stirring that until it's beautifully smooth. And you can tell that it's real chocolate because it's got that beautiful sheen to it and no grain.
Now, Trish, you can get this recipe on the Cadbury website.
Absolutely, Cadbury Kitchen.
You know what I saw? You've got it in the pack too, which is great.
Very sneaky. So the actual recipe that shows on the front is actually on the inside
there it is
as
there.
well.
Great. All right, well, that's melted.
That's ready to go. So I'm going to take that off the heat now.
A bit hot, be careful.
It is. Right, we'll just allow that to come off. Turn the heat off. So the integral part of any cheesecake is the cream cheese, and we're using 2 blocks or 500 grams of cream cheese. Let's go straight into the mixer.
And we give it a good mix until it's really nice and soft.
Yeah, just allow that to soften down nicely to remove any, lumps.
Yep. And then we add the sugar.
Couple of tablespoons of sugar. We don't need quite as much sugar for this particular cheesecake because we've got the chocolate component going in.
Okay, it's going down.
That looks good.
That's it.
Yep. We can put the sugar in there now.
Okay, sugar in. That's just plain old caster sugar. And another good blend. And do we wait for that to really dissolve, that sugar in there? Or?
Oh, yeah. It'll get nice and light and fluffy as well. Okay, the next thing that we need to do to help the cheesecake to set is to dissolve some gelatine. And in the bowl here, I've got 2 teaspoons of gelatine. We just need to make sure that that's mixed really well.
Yep. And dissolves too, because then you'll have all those little granules and you don't want that. So, yeah, be patient with that. Did you want me to put that into the blender now? Great.
Yep. You can add the melted chocolate. That's cooler now, so it's
ready to go?
Yep, that can go in, and then we'll pop the gelatine in as well.
Look at this chocolate. I could just eat that as is, Trish. It's delicious.
And then you can follow that up with the gelatine, if you wouldn't mind.
And that all goes in? The whole lot?
The whole lot. It just takes that little while to dissolve.
So I'm going to put the speed up a little bit more, and we'll just...
Yeah, just enough to get it really nice and smooth, and then we can come back and fold through the cream.
Okay.
That looks great. Time to take it off. Beautiful.
Oh, that's good.
Delicious.
So good, Trish.
Delicious. Okay, so what we need to do there is to just fold through the cream, and that's just been softly whipped.
Just plain old pouring cream? Yep.
Whipping it before you put it in just helps to give a little extra volume to the cheesecake.
And I guess so you've also got white chocolate, dark chocolate. You can maybe mix a couple of the flavours together or just do a nice dark one or a white one, depending on your flavours. I love dark chocolate too. Of course, milk, but dark chocolate's really delicious, so I'm going to change that around and try that at home.
That's the beauty of this recipe. It's really versatile. Yeah. There we go. So just fold that through, and then we are ready to place it into the base that we made before.
Okay, well, I'll go get that.
Great. Okay, so we just need the base.
So that didn't take long to firm up.
Nope.
It's that skill I had when I was placing it in there for
That's
you, Trish.
quite right. Expert. So we can just get all of that mixture out.
So Trish, with you test all these recipes. I mean,
that's
how many
right.
recipes do you've got to come up with all these recipes? Where do you get all your ideas and inspiration for chocolate? Just everywhere?
Out and about, yeah, I guess, and just...
Lots of magazines and...
magazines and things you see on television, things you see in restaurants and so forth.
Good job.
It's a very interesting job.
Yeah.
I certainly get to play with lots and lots of food.
Fantastic. So we make sure that's nice and even.
Just smooth it down. And then it can go straight into the refrigerator. Now,
And how long do we leave that for?
a couple of hours should be enough. This one sets fairly quickly because of the chocolate component. But certainly, 2 hours to overnight's probably best.
Great.
There we
All
are.
right. So we'll pop it in the fridge and then it'll be ready to reveal.
Delicious. Okay, so here's our milk chocolate cheesecake. It's set beautifully. We just need to release the spring form.
I love springform. Makes life so much easier, doesn't it? Because
Well,
that's what happens.
It wouldn't be easy trying to get it out otherwise, I don't think. Okay, and then that can pop onto the serving plate.
Gorgeous.
And then we just need to decorate. Would you like to do the honours with
I
the
would
berries?
love to. So we'll just keep it perfectly in the centre.
I think so, might be nice. So we've got some raspberries and blueberries there, but you could use strawberries or
Whatever's in season,
all
I
sorts.
say. Yep.
Exactly. And some chocolate curls just to...
Or no fruit at all and just extra chocolate curls.
Extra chocolate.
Look at
Yum.
You know what? That looks like exactly the same cheesecake on the front of the pack. That design is just perfect.
Funny about that.
You did that, and that looks
I
really
did.
fantastic. Easy chocolate cheesecake to do at home. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm just going to change the chocolate to dark to suit me.
Excellent. Delicious.